Kabataan Party List Representative Raul Manuel, hindi makahinga at labis na pagsisisi ang darama matapos banggain si Senator Bato de la Rosa sa Senado. Senator Bato, halos lamunin ng buhay si Raul Manuel dahil sa kabastosang taglay nito. Senator Win Gatchalian to the rescue. Pero bago ang lahat, kung di pa kayo nakasubscribe sa aking channel, please do subscribe para mas updated kayo sa mga susunod kong mga videos. Walang takot nang humarap sa Senado si Kabataan Representative Raul Manuel at parang kung sino makaasta habang nakikipag-usap sa mga senador na si Senator Bato de la Rosa at Senator Win Gatchalian. Kaya naman Senator Bato de la Rosa hindi nakapagpigil at binira si Raul Manuel.
Self-discipline, self-control, self-identity are all included in what a varsity player does. Pinagmamalaki natin lagi si Heidelin, nanalo ng gold, sundalo. Pinagmamalaki natin dati noon si Onyok, mga boxers natin, mga sundalo. So magkakasama yun eh. So yung disiplina ng isang military trainee, disiplina ng isang varsity player, hindi na nalalayo yun eh. Sumusunod ka sa platoon leader mo, sumusunod ka sa coach mo bilang isang basketball player. Kung magaling ka sa 3 points, you devoted a lot of time mag-practice sa 3-point shooting. Ganon din yung marksmanship. So again, halos pareho po yun. If we really have to inculcate self-discipline, self-direction, self-identity, hindi na po naglalaro yun, Mr. Chair.
Thank you. Thank you. Next is Attorney Rosales of PASUC.
Good afternoon, Mr. Chair. The Philippine Association of State Universities and Colleges supports the restorations of ROTC, but in the interest of time, we will just submit our position paper on the matter, Mr. Chair.
Thank you. Thank you, Attorney, for making it super brief. Mr. Raul Manuel of NUSP.
Good day to all the members of this honorable body. I am coming from the Federation, the broadest federation of student councils in the country, and we thank you for this opportunity once again to be heard as representative of those students as the sector that will be affected by the possible restoration of mandatory ROTC. Before I proceed with the main points of our position, I would like to request if we may be allowed, since also present here is our members of the Student Council of De La Salle University. So if it would be all right for them also to give even just a short statement before I proceed with my points.
Okay, submit na lang in position paper sa amin. You represent them because in the interest of time, we cannot let everyone talk. No? So we'll allow them to submit to us their position paper,
So,
but you represent their position.
Okay. So we have read all the bills, all the Senate bills, and actually all the House bills also. And we are representing the general points regarding the reimposition of mandatory ROTC. First, we would like to raise, since we also studied on the related legislation, and we observed that based on RA 7077 and RA 9163, or the NSTP Act, graduates of even just basic ROTC shall form part of the Citizen Armed Force, or also called the Reserve Force. So it might imply that those who finished mandatory ROTC will already be considered as citizen soldiers or reservists. And delaying the official registration of children into the Reserve Force will still imply the same, since they will still become reservists whether they like it or not. And also, the Children's Rights Network pointed out that the UN Committee on the Rights of the Child told the Philippine government in 2008 that military training in high school promotes militarism and is contrary to peace-building education and to the spirit of the optional protocol. So the committee actually recommended to remove military content from the training and to promote instead respect for human rights. The second point is on the grievance board, which we believe will only be a band-aid solution to the sentiment of Filipinos regarding potential abuses. First, we would like to dispute or point out the statement of the Department of National Defense that abuses are only allegations. We can actually send a copy to the Department of National Defense the list of at least 15 cases since 1995, high-profile cases. So hindi pa kasama yung mga hindi nare-report ng mga abuso. And on the part of the UP Vanguard, magkasama po tayo, pareho po nating ayaw sa mandatory ROTC sa senior high, pero hindi lang din po namin pwedeng mapalampas yung tungkol sa case ni Mark Wilson Chua. Though napanagot na yung mga individuals, pero the statement delivered earlier exposes actually not the individuals but the corrupt system that is being perpetuated by the program. So a grievance board that will handle reported cases cannot appease Filipinos, especially if the program will be administered by the DND and if the grievance board will be composed of members at tatlo sa members na yon, isa doon ay galing pa sa Department of National Defense. Third, we believe that ROTC taken as it is false nationalism. Since sa ibang mga bansa ay meron silang mandatory training dahil at risk talaga sila sa gera at the present time. For instance, Israel is at war with, or as some groups say, inflicting terror on Palestine. South Korea is technically at war with North Korea. And in the case of the Philippines, when we approved the National Defense Act of 1935, that was because we had to defend our country from Japanese invasion. So merong ganong imminent danger na sa ngayon, sa nakikita natin, ay hindi pa naman tayo ganun ka-head-on sa pag-confront sa mga potential threats na meron tayo. And fourth point, we believe that the proposed ROTC framework overlaps with other NSTP tracks. So we see that the real motive, especially coming from the executive branch that pushes this bill, is for military training, which is designed to boost recruitment to address the low reserve manpower supply of the AFP and produce future AFP officers. With all high schools that will be required to provide officers for DND staff, and DND crafting the program of instruction, the formula to achieve such objective is near completion, and it might violate international principles stating that schools and civilian spaces must not be used for military purposes. So, actually, we have a recommendation since yung mga youth naman ngayon, hindi yan walang pakialam sa ating lipunan, and if nagagadget sila, posibleng nagpo-post sila ng mga tweets, they participate in Twitter and social media rallies to amplify the different advocacies and causes that they have. So, we believe that ROTC, as handled by AFP and DND, cannot be a platform for leadership training and civic consciousness, lalo na ko yung mga students who lead and serve the people by leading different campaigns and advocacies are called brainwashed or subversives. So, hindi pwede na magamit yung ROTC para sa indoctrination, lalo na kayong principle, ay obey before you complain. So,
Manuel,
ano yung...
paki-wrap up na. Please.
Sige po. For our recommendation, actually, since nag-overlap siya dun sa ibang programs, we can take a look at the Section 11 of RA 9163, which reads na dapat ay meron tayong National Service Reserve Corps. And yung mga activities nito ay joint effort ng DND, CHED, and TESDA. So, environmental protection, disaster response, health education, lahat po ng yan ay pwede nating ma-achieve sa current na mga batas na meron tayo. And siguro, kung mahirapan tayo na i-uphold yung ganito, such as law enforcement and rights awareness, magkakatalo na lang kung amongst the ranks of our public officials ay hindi po nag-a-agree doon. Lalo na if we have a senator who will say na okay lang na makalaya at may second chance yung isang rapist na mayor habang yung mga mahihirap ay madaling tukhangin na lamang. Yun lang, maraming salamat.
Mr.
Yes,
Chair, can I react?
of course, of course.
Ang layo naman ng sinasabi mo, Mr. Kasama ba yan dito sa hearing yung comment ko na yun? Ang layo naman. That's an affront to
We
this
want human
representation.
rights as part of the curriculum of
Please,
NSTP.
layo naman,
let Senator Bato finish.
Ang layo naman nung, bakit ka nagkaganon? Ano na nangyari sa utak niyo? Ha? Ang layo naman.
We can send you a copy of
our
position paper.
Ang layo. At saka, I take offense on your what you said na yung ROTC is a misrepresentation of nationalism. Anong tingin mo sa Anong tingin mo sa amin? Anong tingin mo sa... Ganun? Ganun ka lang mag-judge sa amin? Dinadjudge mo kami na ganun? Ha? Are you sure you're the representation, you're the true representation of the Filipino students? Ganun ba? Ilan lang yan makakaliwa dyan sa estudyante. Mas marami dyan ang gusto mag-ROTC. I must tell you frankly. Bakit ka? Ang layo ng issue mo. Just to personalin ako. Napakalayo. Dapat matuto. Kung may ROTC, dapat ikaw na estudyante ka, matuto ka, magrespeto, kahit sa isang senador man lang, na andito sa hearing na ito. Huwag mong tirahin sa ibang issue na hindi kasama dito. Ha? Huwag mong...
Honorable Chair, I would like to
Hold
respond
on.
dun sa point na marami daw na gusto mag-ROTC.
Mr. Manuel, let me recognize you first before you talk. And let Senator Bato finish.
Ikaw, kung Pilipino ka, do you love your country? You answer me. You love your country? Ha? O sige, you respond.
Of course, students love our country and we have different ways to show that
Okay,
we love
you
our
love your country. Pag inatake tayo ng China dito, sinong palabanin mo dyan sa mga Chinese na yan?
Actually po, yun
You
ang
go
program
again,
namin. Since gusto namin na ipaglaban yung ating bansa mula sa foreign invaders, pero mismo sa ating constitution, the AFP, which is tasked to preserve our integrity and national sovereignty, ay hindi natin nakikitaan ng real intent to defend our country. So wala tayong role model for
Submit
that.
mo na lang sa amin yung position paper po ninyo, kasama yung position paper ng isang mga kasama ninyo. No? Senator Bato, can we proceed?
Mr. Chair, may I move to strike from the records the statements of Mr. Manuel that were irrelevant and not germane to the topic, especially when he makes statements attributed to our colleagues in a statement that he made outside. And may I also request the Chair to remind all our guests who are here as guests to please show respect for the members and again, not to bring up statements, reactions that are not germane to the topic. You can make your reaction outside. The media is all there. They will listen to you. But let's stick to the course. We're all here overtime and you need to use our valuable time to say something to the good senator. I know him so well. If you had something to say, he will talk to you. So may we remind everyone of that, Mr. Chair.
Thank you, Senator Pia.
Sir, may I,
Chair,
seek,
dagdagan ko lang. Ito, if he really represents the students, ganyan na talaga ang state ng mind ng mga estudyante ngayon na dapat baguhin natin. Mali po yun. Ako, if naniwala ka sa akin, mas matanda ako sa'yo. Mali yung sinasabi mo. Gusto mo na akong tirahin sa ibang issue na hindi naman natin titackle dito. Now, since, Mr. Chair, since sinabi naman lang itong ating resource person about doon kay Sanchez case, alam nyo, gusto lang ninyo talaga akong sirain, kaya kinukuha niyo yung sinasabi ko na gusto niyo akong butasan. Did you know na ako mismo gusto kong bitayin yung Sanchez na yan? Ha? I am for death penalty. Kung may death penalty noon, dapat nabitayin na yung Sanchez na yan. Pero, kayo naman, ayaw naman yung death penalty. Ngayon, bigyan na second chance dahil na-reform na yung tao, according to the competition, eligible siya for pardon, ayaw na naman nyo. Saan na kami pupunta? Anong klaseng pag-iisip na? Saan kami pupunta? Gusto ko death penalty, ayaw nyo. Ngayon, i-release yan dahil walang death penalty. Titirahin na naman nyo ako. Ako bang gumawa ng batas na yan? Eligible siya by operation of law. Dahil sinabi ng batas. Ganon. Respetuhin natin. May batas na ganon. Pero hindi ko kagustuhan yan. Kung akong gusto mo, samahan mo ako, bitayin natin yan? Ha? Kasi lang talaga, that gusto siya kung ikaw ang representation ng estudyante ngayon, ganun na pala ang estudyante ngayon, kawalang disiplina, kahit ang senador, kayang tirahin sa walang non-relevant issue dito sa ganitong forum. Ganun na pala. Kaya dapat pala talaga, ibalik ang ROTC para madisiplina kayo mga estudyante na kayo. Ha? Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Thank you, Senator Bato. And
Mr. Chair, I'd like to seek apology for...
And let me remind Mr. Manuel, NUSP, and the rest of the groups that we invite in this committee, We invite you for the sake of fairness. Alam ko naman kung anong sasabihin ninyo eh. No, this is your third time to be part of this hearing. And alam ko na kung anong sasabihin ninyo. Pero binibigyan namin kitong oportunidad magsalita para marinig kayo ng mga bagong senador natin. Pero ano namang kinalaman ni Sanchez sa ROTC? Ano namang kinalaman? Kaya this serves as a warning to your group na wag niyong dadalhin yung mga walang katuturan dito sa committee ito. Dahil sinisira niyo yung aming pagdinig at sinisayang niyo yung aming oras. And again, we're exercising fairness. Kaya bigyan niyo naman kami ng respeto. Kahit alam na namin ang sasabihin ninyo, ini-invite namin kayo. In fact, we invited all of your colleagues. So, last na ito, and next time we invite you, if ever we invite you, stick to the topic. And this serves as our warning. Again, I'm directing the committee secretary to strike off all of the comments that are not germane to the topic of ROTC.
Mr. Chair, gusto ko lang malaman nila na baka mamaya yung ini-incite lang ako na magalit para kuno i-contempt sila para may rason sila magulo do Senado. Wala akong pakialam, umuwi ka, hindi ka na may kukulong dito. Wala kaming pakialam sa'yo.
Mr. Chair, I'd just like to apologize for the irrelevant remark that I made earlier. I was just carried away by my emotion, especially with the topic at hand. But I pledge that it will not happen in future hearings wherein we will be invited. So once again, I apologize for what I said.
We take note of their apology. And I think we've already covered all of our stakeholders right now. It's been a quite a extensive discussion. However, we still have a lot of issues that we need to go deeper into. But before I remind the DND and the DepEd for their submissions, tinatanong ko si J9, si Commodore Enriquez, ano ba yung vision natin for the ROTC? Ano ba yung nakikita nyo paano i-implement itong ROTC sa ating bansa? And I remember talking to General Udil, and he told me to take a look at the junior ROTC in the United States so that meron tayong idea. And I just want to share to the body a video of a junior ROTC in the US. This is by the US Army. Meron sila katulad natin, may Marines, Air Force, Navy, but this is by the US Army.
Mr. Chair, can I be excused for a while?
Yes. Panoodin niyo muna ito, General.
Mag-relax muna ako at na-high blood ako. Mamaya na. Manood ka. Thank you, Mr. Chair. May I be excused, ha?
Ma'am Semana, Director Semana, Ched, any comments? And let's go straight to the point.
Yes,
So,
po.
Mr. Chair, can we just ask for our own schedule? How many more resource person will we have?
we have four. Straight to the point na ho tayo,
Yeah.
ma'am.
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Chair. Actually, may I ask permission to read on the stand of the Commission on Higher Education as submitted last March 18, 2019 to the Senate Committee on Education, Culture and Arts, signed by our chairperson, Dr. Prospero de Vera III. The Commission support the initiative to make the preparatory citizen service training course as a requirement for enrollment in all baccalaureate degree courses or technical vocational courses, and as an introductory orientation course to basic CSTC in senior high school. We find the said initiative to be in accordance with Section 13, Article 2 of the Philippine Constitution. Complementary to the proposed bill, we would like to inform the Senate Committee of the actions undertaken by the Commission in the reconstitution of ROTC as a mandatory course for the tertiary students as follows. We have created a technical working group, particularly to study on the task for the formulation of policies, standards, and guidelines, particularly on the associate degree related to national defense and security management. The TWG already drafted the proposed PSG for the Associate in National Security and Public Safety program following the guidelines in the formulation of the PSG and aligned with the curriculum towards outcome-based education. The associate degree shall be a component of a ladderized program initially in the fields of information technology, criminology, industrial security administration, engineering, and maritime programs. So meron na pong ongoing on the particular holistic curriculum development that will support this. Na-mention po kanina yung NSTP, and as I've heard our good Senator Pia Cayetano on the holistic approach and other areas of concern, we would like to inform also the Senate that the Commission is undergoing the review of the NSTP, and particularly the NSTP with the reclassification of ROTC to advanced ROTC in baccalaureate degree will pave way for the implementers, particularly the HEIs, to continue to mold our youth, satisfying the goals of the program. And particularly with the NSTP, there are three components: ROTC, which we believe will be reclassified, which will be complemented by the Literacy Training Service and Civic Welfare Training Service that will develop a more of the student ethics of service and patriotism.